started at the beginning of July. So.
Whatever you want. There's no regular, there's no white.
That's a German word. Shortly. Just close down the house. The place name was
I got it up until I got it.
How are you?
Good.
Good, he just hurt his elbow today. But he has he has to extend that bill. But I have to send it because I studied this class. We need to know, like around what time maybe we should give it to him. I'm thinking about 4 for the dates that he's on 6 to 8. But I need to know what other teachers are coming. I think I have his email. I'm not sure if you have it. Yeah. Either way,
I'm hoping. They're going to end up done.
It's not before 12 o'clock.
We're hoping to like bring it in
Every single thing, once I started here,
I feel like my picture doesn't have
every single time. Yeah, no,
you're ready.
this is important. And I always complain about it, but not really.
It
is funny.
My name is Russ Garber, I teach mathematics.
So this sound button?
Salzman, S-A-L-Z-M-A-N.
It's going to be like you do it, put the line in.
Thank you for coming. Over Hashem Kitov. This is a very long year. It's a long year for Klal Yisrael, a long year for our community, a long challenging year for Chinuch Abanim. And now there's Hashem, hopefully, DACHS Hashem, we can move forward and have something which we used to refer to as normal, be able to interact and work together with your sons like we've done in the past and help them grow very much. I'd like to especially thank everyone for coming. I want to steer anybody, but in exactly a week from now, it's going to be the first night of Rosh Hashanah. It's not such an easy time to get out of the house. To add to that, the fact that being that schools had to start so late, so close to Yom Tovim, is not the only back to school night this week. I won't remind you, or myself, but it's a pretty busy week, and the fact that you made it here tonight means a lot to us, and more importantly, means a lot to your sons, because they know that. We had a dilemma what to focus on tonight. Should we talk about the new programming for the older people, the people who have been here for a while? Should we talk about the old programming for the parents that are new to our yeshiva? So I'd like to do either. I'd like to give over, not just myself, but to be hearing Dr. Hashem soon from Dr. Silverstein, our General Studies Principal, Dr. Gita, Mashiach, and works very much together with me, running the yeshiva. I'll have a chance to hear from the yeshiva, Rabbi Luban. I want to give over a little of the intangible. I think the way Rabbi Gita described it is the things you couldn't put in an email. And of course, the process will touch upon some of our programming and be able to give over a feel of what yeshiva here is about. So Nevish Tanfuma and Parshas Pinchas pulls out a piece from Gemara Brachos Daf and Ches. It's a special bracha that's made when you see a large number of members of Klal Yisrael, 600,000 members of Klal Yisrael, Chacham HaRazim. What do we say? Hashem is the Chacham who understands the secrets. He understands what's going on in each person's mind. The Medrash explains, She'ein Parsufeim Dom Zelazeh, just like people's physical appearance, no two people look alike, so too Kach Ein Deoseh and Shavos Zelazeh, so too their mindset, what goes on inside of them. Their talents, their abilities, their challenges, their co-hosts, not the same. You would think when you're focusing on seeing such a large amount of people, so many other things to focus on, to point out. Chasdei Hashem, so many members of Klal Yisrael together. Rolam Hadras Melech, so many other themes that perhaps we could point to. But I heard from one of my Rabbeim that the message here is even when we're talking about a large group of people, but the focus is on the individual. And we're focusing on each yachid. And each yachid here is special, and it's true there's a large number, but each one counts for what he brings to the table, what he brings to Klal Yisrael. As much that happens here in yeshiva, as much growth that happens here in yeshiva, and yeshiva itself has grown. Baruch Hashem, larger numbers. But we try very hard, our Rebbeim, our teachers, administrators, Rashi Yeshiva, to not lose focus on the Yachid. We feel, and if you've seen or heard past graduations, I think our Talmidim feel, that's really our strength. Our strength is playing to each Yachid, finding out what each individual needs, helping him grow according to his own strengths. And that's something we definitely don't want to give up. It's true, we have many level classes, which helps us do that. We have a full-time staff, our band and teachers that are here, before they teach, after they teach, finding other ways to connect to our Talmidim. But there's a lot more that we do, and with this in mind, I just want to share 2 points, and then I'll take my seat. The first point is sort of a natural outgrowth of everyone being here tonight. We came here to reach out and to connect, and that's something we really want to continue. As we open these lines of communication, we ask that you continue to do so. If you have questions about a class, about something that's going on in yeshiva, please reach out to us. Email the teachers. They're going to give you their contact information. Or Begin and myself, or Solicine are available all the time. You're welcome to call us, email us. If you do call us during the school day, it's possible you won't answer, wait till later, but you can send an email. It's something can be addressed more immediately. Message us through the office, through the front office. There's something going on at home, something going on in your life, something going on in your son's life that you feel it's important for us to know. Please, reach out to us, let us know. Even if you get an automated email from us about your son's attendance, if something sounds funny about it, we'll be starting that soon. We find that it's a way for us just to share information what's going on here in yeshiva. We have automated emails. If son's not here in the morning, so goes out, he's not here, something wrong, and everything okay, and maybe we think he is supposed to be here, and then obviously, hopefully, he will reach out to us. Or he was missing certain classes during the day, so we got an email. He was in school, but he didn't come to those classes. And you say, one second, how'd that happen? Actually, there was something going on, he wasn't feeling well. So follow up, reach out to us, have him come back to us, and explain what's going on so we could work together as much as possible. If your son needs extra support, we have a very strong support staff here. The Rabbeim, particularly the Gemara Havan Rabbeim, are viewed as like the home Rebbe, and spend a lot of time with your sons each day. They connect the Talmidim in many different ways, and they're available day and night to do whatever they can. They have additional people on staff, and I would just highlight particularly where Regita's role. Together with the principal of the yeshiva, his title of Mashgiach really defines what he does, looking after every single Talmid, and you can definitely reach out to him. I'm not trying to take any work off my shoulder. He's just really good at it. Our staff, they live in yeshiva. My wife would say, I live in yeshiva. But that's what we thrive on. That's what we enjoy doing. And if there's anything you want to share with us and you feel is important, please reach out to us. We appreciate the communication. Hopefully, through that, we can help your sons grow and have an amazing year together. My second piece. We want your sons to maximize and accomplish as much as they can here in yeshiva. There's a lot of programming that goes on as part of the regular classes. There's a lot of programming that's extra programming beyond what goes on in the regular classroom, and even that sort of built in. We have every DACHS once a week come and speak to the boys about Mussar, we have Mussar Shmooze, we have the Friday enrichment classes. Dr. Shem, the boys don't know yet, but we're planning a special beginning of the Yeruach event for this Thursday. We'll do something at the end of the morning and beginning of the afternoon. We'll do something during Mishmar supper to try to help energize and create a certain Ruach here in yeshiva. But there are things that happen outside. Things that happen outside the regular schedule. And those, there's only so much we can do. We proud of the boys, we encourage them. There's only so much we can do to get them to be involved. And we encourage you from your side to do the same. Throw out just a quick list of some of the things that happen here in yeshiva, so that if you say, you know, this really talks to my son, I think this is something that could really work for him. Do your piece, try to encourage him. Let us know. Sometimes we could do it from our end. We could pull certain strings behind the scene. And perhaps we can help him get to the next level in his growth. Those who live locally, we have both the minyan here on Shabbos morning. Before the minyan is a little mini shir, and after the minyan, it's a nice kiddush, and more learning, schmoozing, and a lot of opportunities. If that's the right thing for you, you're welcome to send your son here and be part of that program. And there's a Shabbos Shabbos. Again, if that's the right thing, if that works for you, if your son happens to be here for a Shabbos, and if you don't live locally, we have a schmoozer in the Shabbos Shabbos. Always have a nice time singing together. There's a beautiful ruach. Every morning before davening is a Mishnah Shir. I believe there's a Mishnah Shir. If your carpool and your timing works out, you can get here 7:15. Even if he comes a little late, Linda won't get upset at him. It's at 18, 7:20. The carpool and Mishnah once a week. Rabbi Schlissel gives a shir, tefillah, and the truth is, I don't want to put it upon other Rebbeim, but I think every other Rebbe I've seen at different times having sigarim privately with different talmidim before davening, different opportunities. If it's something you think might work for your son, have him reach out. Maybe you're Rebbe from this year, maybe you're Rebbe from last year. Find a way to connect additionally. Rebecca, who puts a tremendous amount of time besides into his teaching, which is something that is truly amazing to see what he does in the classroom, but he puts a lot of time into the student affairs and the extracurricular activities. The JCC programming, we'll get an email about that soon. Every Motzei Shabbos. The Mishnah Leagues. The Mishnah Leagues are for everyone. You don't have to make the team, you just have to sign up. You don't even have to be that good, you'll still get some passes and you'll feel a part of things. And the truth is, even the boys who don't play, they come out and they watch, and they also feel a part of things. Rebecca organizes many events, and if there's a type of event that you think might make sense and might touch you somewhere, maybe a type of tournament, he's very creative, reach out to him, reach out to us. This is something that might work for us. Sometimes we're able to do it, sometimes we're not, and we can do it in the future. But if we know, it gives us the ability to give it a shot. Rabbi Schlissel has been involved in many extra learning programs that go on here in Yeshiva. Is this something like VAD, which has become a real favorite? Someone's looking to do something about it. It's a big commitment. You know, always know about it. I think it's advertised on the walls or on the bulletin boards. Half-hour learning, followed by a Ma'ariv, learning with some food, sit and relax, connect to some of the Rebbeim. There's an extra night Seder for boys who are interested in something even more than that. And Bez Hashem, hopefully, you'll give this thought, your sons will give this thought, and we'll watch everyone grow, each according to his own individual, unique ability, and we'll have an amazing year together. I saw this scene here somewhere. And, is this the first formal introduction to parents? Silverstein in his role already. Haven't seen what he did. Some of you have been in contact, let me know by phone already. Obviously, Rabbi and I were working closely with him for a while. And yesterday, he even sent me an email telling me what to do. That got me excited. Now I know we're really in, and we're figuring out things together. Baruch Hashem, he's already on top of many aspects of the program. Some of his ingenuity and innovations we'll hear about. And we'd like to introduce Rabbi Yair Silverstein, our General Studies Principal. Great, those kind words. My name is Yair Silverstein. I've been in Detroit the past 6 years, and I have to tell you how excited I am to be here, learning and growing with your sons. It's been a few years since I've been in a yeshiva, and when I got the opportunity to work along with Rabbi Drevis and Rabbi Gita, and I heard so much about the institution, I immediately jumped in, Rosh Yeshiva as well, and I have to say that it's been everything I imagined and much more. So I'm very excited to be here with you today. Our teachers over the summer on the general studies side have been working very hard on building a rigorous and dynamic curriculum for your sons. I've reached out to many of the teachers over the summer, and we worked together on forming the curriculum, and we will continue working on formulating our curriculum through department meetings that we've set up over the past couple of days. And we're really working in collaboration together, building on our math, our science, our history, and our language arts curriculum. Thank you. It's like so many more people than I'm used to speaking in front of. It's a new change for me, Baruch Hashem. One of the new exciting things that we're bringing into Yeshiva this year in the 12th grade is the Grade Advisory Program, which we're going to be inserting as part of our Musar curriculum here in Yeshiva. Part of the Grade Advisory Program, which we're hoping to expand in the future to all of our grades, really help our students get into the real world with learning about interviewing skills, resume writing, study skills, and so many other things that are so integral for our students to come out with and know in order to enter the world. I'm also very excited to announce today, and we told the students earlier, that we believe very strongly in transparency. And one of the things that I'm very excited about that I introduced to the students this year is that all assignments will be posted online and they will have access to those assignments. The reason that's so important for our students is that in high school, we want them to take the next step in their education and really become responsible for their learning. And this will give them the opportunity to see it, when they're home, and they want to, they forget what they're doing sometimes, but they'll have that opportunity to go and to be responsible for their learning, to see their grades, to be in touch with their teachers as to, what's going on in their classroom, and it really, I think, will make a huge difference in our students' lives. I just want to echo what Rabbi Dreyfus said before. Myself and the general studies staff are here for the students, for the Talmidim. We really want to be a part of their growth. We really want to be there for you and for them. Please feel free to reach out to us. Each one of us who works in the general studies side wants to see your son succeed. We want your son to graduate. We want your sons to enter their next phase in life with the skills and the tools that they need to move on. So please feel free to reach out to me. Please feel free to reach out to any one of the general studies teachers, and they would all be happy to help. Thank you very much.
We actually had a shaila. We felt it's really most appropriate coming out to a little bit of a shiva to begin the program by speaking. But he also gives a shir regularly at night, and he felt the involved to that shir wasn't so simple. So I asked him about himself, what's more important, the Kabbalah Torah having a speaker for him to be able to give the shir at the regular time. So he said, giving the shir at the regular time. So he's finishing up the shir, and hopefully he'll close off the program. But now we get to hear from Eric Gita.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome. Thank you very much for joining us. So looking around at the crowd, I saw some of you last night at the Roar Open House. Here tonight as a parent as well. I'll probably see some of you tomorrow night at the KS practice school night, and probably some of you the night after at the ECE practice school night. And I hope that doesn't get in the way of all your preparations for Rosh Hashanah and everything else you have to do. But thank you very much for coming out on this very busy week. We hope to gain something from tonight, but at least what we gain is giving us the physic of seeing the team that we have to work with. And as a Pam, that's a tremendous physic to see everyone who did come out tonight to partner with us. I'd like to give a special thank you to Mrs. Lara for all the hard work in the party planning. Party planner and our face of the yeshiva up at the front office, thank you very much for all your hard work. In case anybody's wondering, the reason why we have all these svarim over here is because the boys have advanced so much, they asked us to bring the svarim into the dining room so that while they're eating, they can have easy access, and they wouldn't have to move out the toilet to walk to the base members to bring the svarim here during lunch. The truth of the matter is that we're undergoing renovations shortly, and they're going to be renovating the base medrash, and when that happens, we're going to be turning this room into the base medrash temporarily and eating in the next room. So just in preparation for that, and not knowing when the permitting is starting, we're already shifting some of the svarim here. That's why the backdrop is a little bit different tonight. We usually like to spend a little time focusing on a chinuch idea. And although we've heard it many times, there's constantly new things to learn. And I'd like to talk a little bit about technology and the experience that I had with that really is just coming from our own Talmidim, our own students, and we're learning new things every day. Just a story that happened, I think it was just yesterday in my office. I was talking to Rabbi DACHS, and who runs our dormitory program, which Baruch Hashem is growing tremendously. We have 20 boys in our, 20 right-town boys in our dormitory now, about 10, 11 of them in the 9th grade, out-of-towners. If you have the opportunity to invite them over for Shabbos or something like that, they always appreciate that. Sometimes for 9th graders, it's a little awkward to invite their friends, but the dormitory boys definitely appreciate that. So Rabbi DACHS, in his infinite wisdom, picked up on the fact that one of the boys weren't supposed to have a smartphone, had a smartphone, he called him to the office, introduced him to the boy, and the boy gave him his phone. So DACHS told him, when we find things that aren't supposed to be here, we don't take them away, we're not going to confiscate them. Remind me when you go home, I'll give it back to you, and then you'll leave it at home. And so the boy went to Rabbi DACHS, and he said, no. Okay, the union says, I don't want it back. He says, okay, but don't go home and tell your mother that I stole it from you. I didn't steal it from you. It's not our policy. You can leave with me, and I can understand that, but I'm just clarifying that that's not what I'm doing. He said, I understand, and I don't want it back. Please. So he just asked him, what's the story? He says, well, it happens to be that I just got a hold of this 2 days ago. It's going to be brought so quickly, and please don't give it back to me. And then he offered Rabbi DACHS a little piece of advice to help other Talmidim. And he told Rabbi DACHS, he said, you should just understand what's going on. He said, you know how I have any service on this phone? Because it's a cheap little $40 phone they can just buy in Walmart or something along those lines. He said, you know how I have the service? He told us because we provided him with a phone, which is, as far as we know, the most kosher phone that you can provide him with. A dumb phone that was tagged and only has talking text. And he says, I took the SIM card out of that phone, and I have this smartphone, and I just put it in there, and all our protection that we had was on the phone, not on the SIM card. I just popped it into a different one. So just a heads up, Rabbi, you're giving us unlimited internet access with this little SIM card that you're giving. So we learn new things every day by talking to the boys, and it's really because we have an open relationship with them, and they know we care about them. And as he was leaving the office, he turns to Rabbi DACHS and he says, I just want to tell you something. Thank you very much. And he walks out of the office. The point of the matter is that our boys are good boys. They want to do the right thing. But it's a very, very difficult world out there, and they need our backup. They need our support. They need our help setting up the right protection for themselves. I've heard people say, but I want to, one of my chinuch lessons to my son, I want to teach him that I trust him. So I'm going to give him this device, and I'm going to teach him that I trust him. So it might sound funny, but in all seriousness, I have a much, much better idea how to teach them they can trust them. Next time they say they want a suit, give them your credit card, and drop them off wherever they want to shop, and say, I want to teach you that I trust you. I assure you that whatever they can spend on the suit is not going to be more than the cost of a couple of therapy sessions. So it's a better way to teach trust. And you're actually showing them, I trust you. I trust your judgment. I've went shopping with you a lot of times. You know the price range, that we spend on suits, and I trust you. Here's the credit card. Give me a buzz when you're done, or call Uber, however you want to get home. And I trust you. Somehow we pick these situations to show them trust, where it's a lot more convenient for us, because now we don't have to deal with the whole hassle. I know it's a big hassle. I just got my phone, and I didn't know where to start. How do I even get a dumb phone that doesn't have that doesn't have internet access. I had to make 15 phone calls until I finally figured out how to do it. I had to go to Walmart and wait online and get the phone and take it to tag and then figure out how to set up the service. It's a pain in the neck. There's probably a little bit more of a reason why we choose these areas to teach our kids trust. But how can we pick an area to teach our children trust where Chazal tell us the way we should deal with ourselves is al time v'atzmacham. Don't trust yourself. So the area where Chazal tell us that we shouldn't be trusting ourselves, we're going to say that's the area I'm going to pick to teach my son, I trust you. Let's teach him what Chazal say. Let's teach him that the way to approach these things is that we shouldn't be trusting ourselves, so we can get them involved in the process of how to set up the protection. There was a mother that called me up and said, Rabbi, what am I supposed to do? My son, every day, he comes home from yeshiva, goes into his room, closes the door, I don't know what he's doing on the computer. What she really meant is, I do know what he's doing on the computer, but I'll think about it. So I said, your kid's a new kid. Why not just have a conversation with him and see what happens? No, listen, I go to all these teachers. They keep on talking about this stuff. Every time I go to any event in yeshiva, that's all they talk about. There must be something to it. It doesn't make sense for us to just have that in our house. What are we supposed to do? I'm not computer savvy. Tell me, what can we do to set you up for success? And she had that conversation with her son, and her son said, I'll show you. And he set up the house with protection for himself. And then later, when things got a little bit unprotected, he came over to her and he fixed it. When we take the approach of showing our kids that we're proud of them, we understand them, not that we're shocked and ashamed that they're doing things, looking at things that they shouldn't be looking at, they have a very, very different response. We love giving our parents DACHS. I'll give a little secret. My parents just retired and moved down here last week. Moved down here to North Miami Beach. So my mother was getting to know people in the community. So when she comes home and she tells me, I'll tell you what she tells me, when she comes home and she tells me, I just met so-and-so and they told me that they had a son in the class and he's really happy, he loves having me as a Rebbe, so I feel like $1 million. I'm giving mommy a little nachas, and it makes me feel good. I assume even more so for a 14-year-old, 50-year-old, 60-year-old, 70-year-old age of our boys, that's so meaningful to them. If we could convey to them the message that we're proud of them, we know it's a challenge, we know it's a normal challenge, we know it's difficult, and we're proud of them and we're working with them, that they will have a completely different response. And the only way for us to possibly be successful with them is to be working with them and not to be working against them. When it comes to this stuff, they're much smarter than us, and working against them is not going to work. You have to work with them. I would really like to stop here and not talk about policy, but it'll save me a lot of follow-up work later. Just a reminder in terms of policy. The purpose of these policies is to create a culture where it's a social norm to have certain standards, which takes away the pressure from the parents and from the kids to have access to have devices that they shouldn't have. We started facing this during the admissions process of our current 10th grade students. And Baruch Hashem, it's pretty good. Like every rule, I can't say there's 100% compliance, but we're asking for your help and backup in keeping to the policy that we set up in terms of phones, and that's just a step in the right direction. There's much more to it than just the phones. But in terms of the phones, just a reminder that the policy is really 3 options. There's the no phone option. There's the dumb phone that was tagged. The dumb phones nowadays are pretty much all on the 4G network. You pretty much can't buy phones that are not on the 4G network. And if they're on the 4G network, you'll automatically have internet access. It's not as sophisticated as on a smartphone, but it's unfortunately sophisticated enough. And so even the dumb phones need to be taken to tag, and then it will be, as long as they don't take out the SIM card and put it into something else, it'll be, no, which is something to keep in mind, because we get an upgrade on our plans, and we just take our old smartphone and put it up in the closet, and the kid knows exactly where it is, we forget about it, and it's very easy to just take out the SIM card and pop it in there. It is something important to keep in mind. So it's the no phone, it's the dumb phone with just talking text that really is tagged, where there's one particular smartphone that we allowed, which we set up with a company called Safe Telecom, that has specific apps that Yeshiva allows, and if you go on their website, it is a little bit expensive. Bought one of their phones myself, so the kids will stop saying to me, why are you going to do it that way? So I spent the money and actually bought one of their phones myself and gave up my WhatsApp too. But that's the one smartphone option that we allow. And if we could have the parents working with us in terms of holding their kids to that standard, that will be the social norm within the Yeshiva family, and it will be much easier for the kids to stick to it, and it will create an environment that all of you are looking for. Mirz Hashem, we should have a lot of hatzlacha in protecting our children, in helping our children grow, in working together with you. I wish everybody a Sina Tova and a year together with us of much hatzlacha. I'd like to ask our Yeshiva, Ruben, to come up and do a few words of respect and Yeshiva.
Very brief, so don't get nervous. All this food sitting here and you're listening to speeches, I don't know, it's hard. But we'll try to be brief. I happened yesterday to be just flipping through some part of my office, and I came across something very interesting, which I thought is, happens to fit in for the message, an appropriate message for today. So share. There's a sefer here called Kisei Asaba Mikel. It's letters from different Talmidim of the Kelm Yeshiva. Kelm, those who know, was the great Muslim Yeshiva of Europe. Almost all the great Muslim Mashgichim came from Kelm. And there's a letter from the Yeshiva of Kelm. See, Brunda. And he's writing Rabbi Yerucham. Rabbi Yerucham, we know, was the Mashgiach of the Mir Yeshiva. This was before he was Mashiach in the Mir, he was a Mashiach in Baden, called the Sayyid. And he's writing Rabbi Yerucham to thank him that he apparently sent 2 Talmidim to Kelm from Baden. He advised them to transfer. And he's telling them that, Be'ez Hashem, it looks to me that they're going to be very successful. He said, writes as follows, Me'achovid Daniel, from the one that the beloved Daniel, a capital Rav Nachas. I expect to get much Nachas. Rochik Shiyah Hezek. It's very doubtful that he's going to be a Mazik. Mazik means he's going to be damaging. Now, apparently, to read between the lines, it's pretty clear from later too, that there were people that said that this Daniel, don't take him into yeshiva. He is a Mazik. He is a child that's going to make lots of trouble. He's going to destroy the yeshiva. So, this yeshiva from Kelm wrote back that it's Rochik. Doesn't look like he's going to be a hezek, a mazik. Amr Nafal Zoras, but just the opposite. And then he adds, Afra Lepume, dirt should be put in the mouths. Shall Einam Avinam al Nashim. There's the people that are saying that we shouldn't accept this student. They don't understand Chinuch. They look at them, and they look at this Daniel superficially, and they see a wild kid, child that is perhaps just a troublemaker. So he says, dirt should be put in their mouths, because that's all they do. Okay, that's the end. So the question is, who is this Daniel? Doesn't say, but I once heard, and I checked it in the computer, it's easy. You just type in the words of this letter and see what comes out. And sure enough, it came out that Zaydu Epstein quotes his letter and said this Rav Daniel became the next Rosh Yeshiva of Tel Yeshiva. And he was killed by the Nazis in Ashno. But this Bacher, who people were telling him, don't take him into yeshiva, it says later also. The people were telling him, don't take, he's going to ruin your yeshiva. He became the Rosh Yeshiva. And I know I was going to Israel, I know by Rav Zuckerman, he used to quote always this Rav Daniel. I knew that Daniel was the Yeshiva of Cal. And the truth is Rav Zaydo, that was the Rav Zaydo Epstein, who writes this, he writes that this was Rav Yeruchan's gadlus. Rav Yeruchan's greatness was that he would look at a bacher, and he would see a bacher that other people would look at it and his average intelligence, kipshutim, or afilu gemazikim, and he would uplift them. He would be able to see that that's just a superficial roughness, superficial dirt, but there's tremendous gadlus. And that was, I said, Rabbi Yerucham had that ability to see the internal beauty of every student, to really the real student. It wasn't dreaming, it was real. He could see the beauty, he knew which students, what their kaiches were. He was able to believe in them, and when you believe in someone, they believe in themselves. That's a very big rule. In Chinuch, when you believe in the student begins to believe in himself. And thereby, Rabbi Yerucham had this tremendous hashpah. And he writes another example in this Razaydu about a different person who also was people thought it was a mazik that became one of the Gedolei Ador. I was reading this and I said, this is perfect, because this is really what the yeshiva stands for. You know, we get out of Talmidim, not everyone comes in a perfect angel. The Gita was talking about, sometimes there is some issues, bigger issues, littler issues, but very often it's just superficial dirt. It's just superficial. You have to be able to see what's inside the heart. You have to see the true beauty that's in the child. And that takes a certain gadlus to be able to see past the superficiality. And I really believe that this is some of our, Baruch Hashem, the greatness of our Rebbeim, our teachers, to give them credit. They have this skill that they're able to see the greatness in the child, they're able to see their potential, they're able to convey the child that we love you with your problem. Your problems are minor, we believe you can do it, they give encouragement, and with that belief and that encouragement, the children grow, blossom, and really do end up to become Gedolei in Israel. Our bracha is that we should all have DACHS from all our children, and they all should be grown to become great people in their potential, and we should all be zeichet to have a siva and siva time.
So, quick welcome to the dormitory parents who are watching from a distance. Thank you for entrusting us with your children, and Bez Hashem, you will also see Nachas both from a distance, and Eretz Hashem every once in a while we send them home from up close. At this point in time, we're going to move to the second part of our program. This part's a little challenging because everyone likes to be here and schmooze and sort of remain here for longer, but we also don't want to go overtime, and our plan is not to go overtime. So what we'd like to do is as follows. The Rabbanim are each going to move to their classrooms. I'll guide you where that's going to be. For the dorm parents, you've been given the Zoom info. If, for whatever reason, the Zooms do not work, do not worry. The Rabbanim will each put in a personal phone call and tell you what you need to know. And do not worry, but we put in an effort to try to make it work. The reliance on technology, obviously, based on other factors, sometimes beyond our control. At that point in time, the Rabbanim will speak a little about what goes on in their shir, their expectations, their curriculum, their excitement about the year. And there's a minor that's scheduled in the auditorium for 9:45, or Baruch Hashem on time. So they might end a little earlier, but we'll still start Meyer exactly Bez Hashem at 9:45. The classrooms are as follows. You could just process this before you take a little food with you. Out welcome tickets to the classroom, even though for the students that's not the rule, but we trust that you'll deal with it a little differently. Behind me to my left is Rabbi Kier's and Rabbi Yachin's share. That's make a double left turn out and you head into we call it the Spanish wing. Their share rooms are there. It's the D hallway, and there are signs for that indicate where the shiurim are. If you head out to the dining room, past the soda room, and you make the first left, that's the C hallway. In the C hallway, again, there are signs on the doors that Rabbi Golan's share, my share, and Rabbi Danziger's share. I'm Rabbi DACHS, in case you don't know. On the C hallway, Rabbi Golan, Rabbi DACHS, Rabbi Danziger. And then the last hallway, if you keep going all the way out, the way you came in from, that's the A hallway. Rabbi Blinder, Rabbi Schlissel, Rabbi Gita, Rabbi Israel, right down the A hallway. And then the challenge is going to be for 12th grade parents. I know you may know your way around the building, but Rabbi Pavan shares in a small enclave on your way to the auditorium. If you're not sure, just ask around for the share room in the back of the auditorium. And that's where you'll find Rabbi Pavan share. It's the B, it actually has an official letter, so we got our ABCD. It's room 120B if you're interested. Thank you all for coming tonight. We wish everyone a Ksivach Simon. Thank you.